What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another movie review. Today we are going to be talking about the Planet of the Apes franchise, and more specifically the most recent trilogy of movies, that being Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and War of the Planet of the Apes. Some of my favorite movies that have come out in recent years. What year did Rise of the Planet of the Apes come out? That was 2011. Wow, years ago. I was 12 when it came out. Wow, I can't believe it was that long ago. But Rise of the Planet of the Apes, I'll jump into it real quick. I gave 3 out of 5 stars. Middle of the road, 6 out of 10. You know, it's one of those things. You know, it's a solid movie. You know, it's not terrible. It's good. The third act battle on what is that? The San Francisco Bridge, Big Red Bridge. You know, it's got some really good stuff going for it. Obviously, the technology in 2011 wasn't quite as good as where it was in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War of the Planet of the Apes, but it started out, and it's one of those movies that it has a satisfying ending, and once you get to the post-credit scene, it really sets up the next 2 movies, and, oh, it's this virus, blah, 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 the apes are taking over the planet. That's why it's Planet of the Apes. You know, it's not our planet anymore. The apes start to, you know, evolve, and I love, you know, the one line. I can't. It's a little bit of a spoiler, but I guess it's been over 10 years, so if you haven't seen the movie, it's on you. But I love that at the end of the movie, he like hugs James Franco, which is like his father figure, if you would, and he hugs him, and he's like, "Caesar is home." You know, and you get like, he's only said no up to this point, so all of a sudden you're like, "Oh shit, Caesar can speak? Where are we going?" Right, like. So now the second movie, there's a lot more speaking lines, but there's still apes, right? So they don't go fully just, oh, he can speak fluid English, no problem. The way he talks is still, ape, strong, together. You know, like it's deep, dark, human, home. You know, like, oh, I just started Dawn of the Planet of the Apes recently, but I wanted to go back and watch this one first and do a trilogy video for the YouTube channel. Comment below if I should go back and watch the really old Planet of the Apes movies. I haven't seen them probably since I was a kid. I remember my pops made me watch them with him, and he used to force me to watch a lot of old movies. And when as a kid, I would watch them, but I wasn't as like into it because I'm a kid and I wanted to watch more recent new stuff that looked better, right? Because obviously even in 2005 or whatever, when I'm watching movies, I'm like 6 or 7, but technology in 2005 is much better than 1970, right? So things are still looking better, but it's crazy to go back and even watch stuff from 2005, 2011, and where we are in 2023, and how big of a jump technology has been able to make for things to be able to look really good. Like, oh, just so good. But Matt Reeves, the director of this trilogy and the director of The Batman, Robert Pattinson's Batman, I'm stoked to see that second Batman. I think he's a great director. That first one was Peace de Resistance. Like, I loved that first Batman. We can talk about that more. Comment below if you want to talk Batman. I think once I do my Star Wars rewatch, I fully get into my Marvel rewatch and I finish that, then I think I'm going to go dive into DC. I don't think I've seen it, obviously, but I don't think I've done enough of a due diligence on my DC stuff. When, honestly, as a kid, I started out with that Justice League animated TV show, and I loved it, but I wasn't exposed enough. I didn't know that there was comic books. I didn't know that there was, you know, other things. I watched, you know, the animated Batman TV show on Saturday mornings, but I didn't know how much there was, right? So I really got to go get into my DC books. I got to go get into, you know, the Court of Owls book I read. That was so good. I think I have to finish that, actually. The whole series. I think I've only read a couple books. Still working on getting reading glasses. But, you know, I'm going to continue on my movies. I love getting into things, and I love coming on here and reviewing them and just having a place to come and talk shit. And I would love to hear your thoughts on these movies. Maybe you have a completely different opinion. Don't worry about it. You do not have to like something that I did. I don't have to like something that you do. But I would love to hear from you, because I would love recommendations on movies that you, hey, check this out, this is dope, and then I'll go check it out and give you my thoughts and opinions. You know, I love, you know, some people have given me some great recommendations in the comments already. You know, I did a Punisher video a couple weeks back, And the guy was like, go check out the Dolph Lundgren one. I was like, Dolph Lundgren? He was Punisher? Looked it up. I was like, holy shit, he was. I don't know if I'll watch it, but because it is look quite old, but I don't know. Maybe I'll get into like a Rocky phase again and go watch all the Rockies, then get to the point where Dolph Lundgren's kicking ass and be like, I'll go watch Punisher. Fuck it, you know, like with the passing of Ray Stevenson, maybe I'll go watch his Punisher. All I know is that after seeing John Bernthal's Punisher, that guy's my Punisher. He's just so good. He's so good. Like, he's just so, like, he just got so much, you know, so much in him. I fucking love that, you know. But comment below your thoughts on Planet of the Apes. Were you a fan of the old ones? I'm pretty sure there's a more recent one, but it's still pretty old with like Mark Wahlberg. For some reason, I remembered Mark Wahlberg in one. But what is your favorite Planet of the Apes? I want to say mine might be Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Just the beginning of that movie, the opening sequence is so menacing, so good. And I really like that one. War of the Planet of the Apes is pretty freaking great too. Just the technology by that point looks so good, and you're like, dude, these are real fucking apes walking around. Like, you can't tell me, even though it's Andy Serkis in some pajamas, you know, like, so crazy. And shout out to Andy Serkis, because he's a legend, just walking around on stilts like an ape, like the same guy that did Gollum, same guy that did King Kong, right? Like, a guy that, like, you would never imagine a CGI character was portrayed so well on set by this guy. And he's just the guy, you know. And if you guys don't know who Andy Serkis is, he was Alfred in Matt Reeves' Robert Pattinson's Batman, which makes a lot of sense if he knew Andy Serkis from this Planet of the Apes movies. He was also Ulysses Klaue in the Marvel Universe. So, shout out Andy Serkis, shout out Matt Reeves, and we'll be continuing on our trilogy rewatch of the Planet of the Apes, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Peace.